So when you start with wedging the clay, you're going to roll the clay towards you. And what's really important in rolling the clay towards yourself is that you keep your thumbs behind the clay. If you have them in front of the clay like this, you will end up poking holes into the clay that will cause air bubbles to form, and you'll actually be adding more air bubbles into your clay instead of less. So I'm keeping my thumbs behind and I roll it towards me. And then the next step is to stack your hands one on top of the other and make sure your fingers are pointed upwards at about a 45-degree angle. You should always stand up while you're wedging. That way you can use your body weight. It'll help you get the right angle and your arms will not get as tired. So I'm going to lean in to the clay, and what's going to end up happening is that the part that's further away from me will be higher up and the part that is closer to me will be lower down. So see the angle here where it's higher and it gets lower. Then I roll it towards myself again, thumbs back, they're not in front of the clay. Stack your hands, lean in. It should be higher away from you and lower down close to you. And we're going to repeat this a few more times. And you will see that it starts to become a long piece. When it becomes a long piece, it's time to flip the clay the other direction. And again, I'm rolling it and I'm making sure my thumbs stay behind the clay, not in front of it. I stack my hands and I lean forward so that the clay again is higher, farther away from me, and lower down, closer towards me. Again, this technique is called the ram's head method. And the reason that we call it the ram's head method is because as you're doing this, it's going to spiral on the sides, and that's like the ram horn. And then a lot of people think that the front that's smushed down looks a little bit like the face of the ram. It's again very abstracted, but that's where the name comes from. So again, keeping the thumbs behind the clay, roll it towards you, hands stacked, fingers up at a 45-degree angle, lean into the clay, really use your body weight, and you can rotate it anytime it's starting to get a little bit too skinny. When you are about ready to stop, when you think your clay is wedged, it's better to stop when it is not at a long, thin stretch of clay. Instead, if it's a little more compact, that works a little bit better. And then the next thing that you'll want to do is block off your clay. And what you would do is where the spirals are, you tap those out first. So just tap the spirals out on the table. Don't hit too hard. And then just kind of rotate the clay until it becomes cube shaped or like a rectangular prism.